just a quick vlog, hopefully this morning. Just basically a catch up from last week, and wow, what a week it was. Does anybody remember? Well, I don't remember because it was in the 60s, but I can remember replays of that was the week that was. I'm sure it was like a sort of parent, if you like, of like Mock the Week and that sort of thing, like a political comedy satire show. Anyway, I've totally digressed there. I'm not even a couple of minutes in and I'm digressing already. So yeah, so I just thought I'd do a sort of quick catch-up vlog. I've had a little bit of difficulty getting out any sewing vlogs this week and last, like, yeah, it just didn't go to plan. Mainly because Jack, who's in front of me, and Jill, who's to the side of me, have not been playing ball. Basically, they both decided to have a little paddy and not work. So I've literally spent most of last week with them in bits, trying to get them back up and running, and fingers crossed they are. So I'll hopefully be able to get some videos filmed this week. I was literally in the middle of filming the sunshine crossbody when Jill decided to really play up, and I think it was a combination of things, like the vinyl wasn't great, and yeah, it just literally all went pear-shaped. So that video unfortunately went out the window, so I'm going to try and get it refilmed this week and get that put out. So yeah, so machines are hopefully back up and running and not being little tinkers. So what's been happening this week? So normally probably sort of like the week coming, I would be hosting a social event, which I do every month, obviously in the northeast of England. So anybody who's from this area and wants to come along, basically once a month I hold a social get together. It's 10 till 3. I hold it at gonna have a bit of difficulty with my words again today. Try not to do another faux pas. It's held at Penshire Masonic Hall, which isn't too far from me. It's sort of in between Sunderland and Chesley Street, not far from Horton. So if you're from the area, you'll know where it is. But it's not held in August because basically the people who run the venue work 24/7. They literally never stop, and they literally have the whole of August off. So there's no social in August. Lots of people are away on holiday and stuff as well, so it works out really quite well. So the next one is in September the 17th. If you go onto the website, you can book your space on there. But it's just literally, it's really informal. It's not sort of like class led or anything like that. It's really informal. You just bring your machine and your current project, and you can just sew and chat and have cups of tea and homemade cake. I usually bring lots and lots of cake. So, and it's just a really nice way to sort of make new friends, get to meet people, and have the benefit that if you're struggling with anything, there's other people there who you can ask. I'm always there to help and what have you. So that's on the 17th of September. So that's available to book on the website, as well as all the other ones up until the end of the year. So there's one each month until December on the website, and I will be getting the next sort of few months into 2024 sorted and on the website when they're back off their break and I can put the dates in. Retreat, Northeast Bag Makers Retreat. I had a meeting last week before, I think it was the Friday, with Jan. So the I've been able to open up 2 more spaces on the upcoming October retreat. So that's the October 2023 retreat. It is a shared room spaces, so it's for 2 people who are willing to share a room or who want to come together and share a room, because I can put 2 more spaces on. Obviously room allocations, we could only sort of like get 1 more room, so that's why it's a shared space. But what I've done is for the spring 2024 and the October 2024, which are again on the website, if you go on the homepage and you scroll down, you'll be able to find it. I have actually increased those spaces as well, because when I went and saw Jan, we had a little bit of a jiggle round of where we could put everything, and that meant that we knew of how many people we could accommodate in the room. So all the details for the retreat are on the website. If you go on and you have a look, sorry, I've just coloured my hair this morning, so I've got I look like I'm bleeding from the top of my head. I swear I'm not, it's hair dye. So yeah, so all the details for the Bag Makers retreat are on the website. The running order of the week, again, it's informal. I do sort of like little skill builder things throughout the weekend, but you know, it's not, you don't have to keep up with anybody. We have a bag pattern that is part of the retreat, so you'll get that pattern as part of the retreat, but you don't have to do that pattern if you don't want to. You can bring whatever you like with you. Maybe particularly if you've had something that's been a little bit of your nemesis and you want some help and support from other people, bring along whatever you want to bring along. I've had it confirmed that Crafted by Leanne will be the pattern person for this month, so I've got a poll over in the Bag Makers retreat group of which pattern we want to go for. We'll obviously go with the one that has the most votes. I have had a few people that have tried to join the Bag Makers retreat group, but obviously I've had to decline them because it is literally a group for just people who were booked on to the retreat. So it's a way of getting to know other people who are going before you get there. There's not information so much about the retreat that will be on the website or via the emails and stuff. So don't think because I've declined your application or your request into the Bag Makers retreat group that there's anything in it. It's just literally because it is solely for people who are booked onto the retreat. So that's why. So what else was I going to go through? Oh god, yes, being mentioned on Lauren's channel. So if anybody's watching this video who's come over from Lauren mentioning me on her channel, hello. Hopefully you can understand the accent. But oh my god, Saturday night I'd literally had I hadn't been on social media much over the weekend. It's been my mum's 70th birthday. Not this weekend, it was last weekend, but I had a little party for her this weekend in the garden, like a little posh garden party for the Queen. So I hadn't been on social media or anything, and I like happened to glance on, like sort of once we were finished and I was sitting down just having a bit chill, and had loads of notifications where I was tagged, and I was like, oh god, what's going on? And literally my heart sank. I'll tell you why. It sank in a few minutes, but you'll understand why my heart sank. I thought, oh god, no, what's happened? Like, what am I going to be dealing with at like 10 o'clock on a Saturday night? But it was all good. It was Lauren had mentioned my channel on her pattern roundup, so I'll link that video in my description, because they're great videos. She goes through all of the patterns that have been released since she did the last pattern chat. But actually the pattern that she featured was actually released last year, so the video that she mentioned was actually a video of last year. So yeah, so thank you to Lauren for the nod, the sort of the link to my YouTube. Obviously I'm still, although I've had the YouTube channel for a little while, I've kind of dipped in and out of it for various reasons. So I'm still really new to doing vlogs, doing videos, doing the tutorial style videos, so it's all really a learning curve. And yeah, so having that sort of like I say, a little shout out from somebody who's got the amount of subscribers that she has, and yeah, it was amazing, so thank you very, very much. Yeah, and the other thing that happened this week, which will obviously make you realise why my heart sank when I had loads of tags, was I got a 2-star review this week. I think it was Wednesday, and I was literally just getting into the bath on Wednesday morning, and I get a little notification. Anybody who's got a Google business thing will know you'll get like the little maps thing, and I thought, oh, I've got a review, I'll go on and reply. always reply to all of my reviews because I like the fact that people take the time to leave them, you know, and I think it's etiquette to reply. So I went on, I thought, oh, I'll reply before I get in the bath, and I saw it was 2 stars, and I thought, oh my god, like, you know, something's gone wrong with somebody's order, and have they took to Google to complain about it without coming to me first. I was literally like devastated to get this 2-star review, and because all the reviews that I do have on Google and everything are genuine. They are from customers, you know. I've not asked my friends and family to go on Google and leave me reviews to get it started. They are literally all from people who have bought from me or who watch my YouTube videos and have gone on and left a Google review based on them. Yeah, so I was really proud of this, of my rating. So yeah, I was absolutely devastated to see this 2 stars. So I goes on and reads this review, and it read really strange. Was basically a 2-star review because I'm an online shop, and this person has an agenda with online shops of not being able to go in and pick things up and pay for them and walk out. And I was just like, you know, that I run online for a number of reasons. One is, obviously anybody who runs a business knows rents for retail space, rates for retail space is astronomical. You've then got to have a whole host of insurances, like extra insurances, because you've got the general public coming in and out of your property. But one of the main reasons that I actually run my business online is because I do actually suffer from a few sort of medical conditions. And if you've followed me for a while and you've seen any of my earlier videos, you'll have heard me talking about them. So the 2 conditions I suffer from is, one, I suffer from Hashimoto's, I think that's how it's pronounced, which is an autoimmune disease, which basically means my thyroid attacks itself and it just doesn't work anymore, hence why I'm a little bit on the chunky side. And it leads to sort of chronic fatigue like symptoms, especially if I'm having a flare. And then I also suffer from a chronic form, well, 2 chronic forms of migraine actually. I suffer from hemiplegic and vestibular migraine, which thankfully now are very, very well controlled, but they haven't always been. And literally these migraines, when they attack, leave me with sort of stroke-like symptoms. So when I first started suffering from them, I had tests for MS, I had tests for stroke, and then it was ascertained that it is actually a form of migraine. And sometimes I'll get like a silent form of them, so I won't actually get the headache, that like, you know, skull crushing headache, but I'll get all the other symptoms. My vision will go, my speech goes, the side of my face actually drops. So I was tested for Bell's palsy as well. So those things can, you know, get me at any time. So having an online business basically means that I can run the business and the business not run me, if that makes sense to people. So, you know, if I get up in the morning and, you know, I'm not particularly well, sometimes I can have like a migraine attack during the night and not know, and then I wake up and have the side effects. So it basically means that I can sort of schedule things to suit like me and my health, so to speak. So if I get up in the morning, I'm not feeling particularly great, I can kind of have a slow morning, you know, take some of the medication that I might need to take, and then I can kind of get myself going, and I can work till 10 or 11 o'clock at night if I need to catch up. And that gives me that sort of freedom to do that. So that is actually the main reason why my business is online, is because of that. But obviously it means that I can service the whole of the UK, not just the area in which I live as well. So yeah, so this review that was a bit of an off-tangent thing anyway, wasn't it? But never mind. Yeah, this review was basically 2 stars because I'm basically an online business and they don't like online businesses. And they felt as well that as an online business I should hold more stock than what I had. I actually work from a really, really tiny space. If anybody ever sort of like comes to visit me and they see the area that I work in, they can't believe how much stuff I actually have in the space that I use. So I use the space as effectively as I can. So basically that means that I don't hold things that don't sell quickly. Obviously I've got to have that space working for me. So yeah, so this was basically the gripe of this 2-star review, and I was absolutely devastated to receive it, mainly because I really truly felt like it wasn't a reflection of my business. It read as well like this person hadn't actually ordered from me. I couldn't actually work out from the review whether they'd ever ordered from me. I went back through, because it was just initials on the review. I went back through, could not find any order or recent order that fit in with this person. And I could see from reviews that they'd left from other places, and like I say, they had been on a little bit of a rampage on Wednesday morning, that they obviously lived in sort of the London area. I'm not going to go specifically into the area of London they live, but they live in the London area, which would mean, like I say, if I had a physical business anyway, they wouldn't be coming to visit me, because it's 300 and odd miles away, you know, it's other end of the country, literally. I'm not that far from the borders of Scotland. So yeah, so after my initial sort of, you know, I got in the bath and I cried, I'm not gonna lie, I broke my heart. I put a post out on social media basically saying, you know, I was absolutely devastated to receive this 2-star review based on the fact that I'm not like a physical shop, an online shop. And oh my goodness, the outpouring of support from the community, from, you know, people who follow me on YouTube to people who are in my Facebook group, who follow me on Facebook page and Instagram, was literally unreal. The comments that people left, the comments that people left, the inboxes that I got from people who were saying, you know, the service that they'd received was fantastic, but more than that, that they just loved being part of the community, that they loved being part of the Facebook group, they loved being part of this YouTube group. I'm so sorry for getting upset. Was just, these are actually happy tears, was just unreal, and really what started that morning as a devastating morning. I had so many tears of you know, I am an emotional person. Grumpy will tell you I will cry at the adverts. You know, I was so defeated, and and I've said this on posts in the group and on my Facebook page, 6 months ago I was in such a dark, horrible place that all I would have done was focused on that horrible review. All I would have done was focus on the fact that somebody didn't like what I did, that somebody took the time to leave such, you know, a negative review. And I wasn't the only one. There was some really nasty reviews this person left. Actually, some of them were quite sort of racist and, you know, hateful. They were just, you know, obviously that person must have been having a horrible day that day and was taking it out on, you know, lots of businesses that morning. But as I say, what started as a horrible morning, and I would have only focused on the fact that this person didn't like what I did or didn't like me, and I took the time to leave that review. That would have been all I focused on, and it would have been me saying, well, what's the point, why am I doing it, blah 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 blah. But thankfully I'm not in that place anymore. Thankfully I'm in a much stronger place, and a lot of that is down to the community that I'm part of, both in the Facebook group and on YouTube. You know, the outpouring of support was just, I literally had a smile on my face all day, and you know, people were lovely, and people went on and left me reviews based on their experiences of dealing with my business and what have you. And again, they were all genuine reviews, because one of the things I'm really strong about is integrity. And you know, I wouldn't want people going on and leaving reviews just to try and get, I mean, it only knocked me down to 4.9. It isn't the end of the world, you know, when you look at things in the bigger picture, it isn't the end of the world, you know. And I did reply to this person saying, you know, I'm so sorry that you've had this experience of my business. I haven't been able to find your order. If you can email me your order number, I'll look into whatever the issue is that you feel you've had. And they haven't responded. I have actually, with a little bit of digging, this person has actually registered on my email list, so I actually do know who it is. Yeah, a little bit. If I ever give up this, I'm going to be a private detective. And I'm so sorry for getting upset, but I feel so strongly and passionately about what I do and the community that I belong to. That yeah, it went from being a really horrible experience to being like I say, I just literally I went to bed with a great big smile on my face. And you know, I'm actually still getting people messaging me, you know, quite a few days later about you know, that they didn't feel it was justified and their experience has been X, Y and Z. And don't get me wrong, if ever anybody has any constructive feedback to give me based on things that they want me to stock, I might not be able to, but it's something that I'll look into. You know, I always want to give the best service and, you know, do the very best that I can. So any sort of feedback and to enable me to do that is more than welcome. So yeah, it has been a massively eventful week, with machines breaking and lots of meetings about the retreats. You know, I did sneak in a little sneaky meeting about my wedding because it's being held at the same place as well, to shout outs from other very successful YouTubers, and yeah, reviews that, you know, now I know I can deal with when I get them. So that in a nutshell is the week that I've had. So hopefully there will be a couple of sewing videos out this week, fingers crossed. If anybody's got any suggestions of things that they'd like to see in the channel, if they like these chatty videos, I'll try not to cry on the next one. Let me know down in the comments. And my battery's flashing, so that is a signal for me to let you go, and I'm going to go and finish off my cup of tea and have some lunch. So I'll see you later in the week. Happy sewing. See you soon. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to see my next video when it's released. I'll see you next time.